if you guys may not be aware by now, Manchester United are Europa League finalists. You know, it's our first finals since 2017. And ultimately, I can say that we have made some level of progress this season. You know, um, you know, I have been disappointed in the previous years, how we have been performing because we have had fallouts with our previous manager, and then we are now in a transitional process with our now manager Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Last season we finished third with 66 points. So I can say based on progress in the Premier League, we have made progress there. But in terms of getting to the next level, in order to win trophies, are we there? Are we there yet? I'm not quite sure. So let's talk about today's fixtures. What what is expected? What has been the build up? What is happening? I said earlier we are in a Europa League finals, our first finals in years. I'm happy for that. I'm happy that we have the opportunity again to win some silverware. I mean, between these 4 years, we have got rid of some players that would have called deadwood. Players such as Ander Herrera, which I don't really agree with that he should have left, but that's a story for another day. Other players such as Alexis Sanchez as well have left the club. So now, excuse me, over the past 4 years, we've gotten players such as Edinson Cavani, Donny van der Beek, just to name a few, Amad Diallo as well, who came in to help, improve our squad depth, so to speak. You know, um, for that reason, I can say it's kind of pleasing to me as to why we finished second in the table. It's an improvement. I mean, 74 points is an improvement. Despite the fact that other big clubs in the Premier League have had their issues this season. But today will be a tipping point and a turning point for Manchester United and, of course, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Now, why I say this, guys, is because today will either prove the critics wrong, the fans as well, um, as to whether or not Ole is the man for the job or he's the man before the man. Now, why I'm saying this, guys, is because he has been heavily scrutinized for being called, a PE teacher, a person who is not fit to be the Manchester United manager, right? So, guys, that's all of the criticism that's been circulating around Ole during his duration here at Manchester United. So will today put all those critics to rest? Let's see. But for me personally, I would say, I always said, when this season began, that we should give Ole a chance, give him until the end of this season to make a judgment. And that is why I'm saying now, I have been an Ole skeptic. I have not been an Ole outer, during the years he's here. Because, at times he tends to get things correct, and then at other times, I am so disappointed with a lot of decisions he makes in order to improve our quality and our play and what have you. So, winning a silverware at the end of this season will play a major role in what I will envisage Ole as moving forward. So, for me, it's a must-win game today. He has to pick a team that is, suited to win this final today, because if we don't win, a lot of things will be resurfacing, such as, is he the right person for the job? Is this team capable to take the Manchester United brand to the next level moving forward? Yes, we have Bruno Fernandes, Cavani, Pogba, and all those players currently in the squad who are, you have that ability to become world class, renowned players. and possibly the best players in the history of the sport. So we have these players now, but it all comes down to what Ole will do today. And this leads me into his team selection. Now, due to the fact that our defense has been tremendously poor all season, you know, and now that our captain, who is our best defender now, the absence of Harry Maguire for me, I must comment that it clearly shows that Harry Maguire is very much so a very integral player in this squad. Because yes, we've won the previous match against Wolves, and other games before where he didn't play. We kind of showed that we have a lot of frailties in our defense, but you know, when Harry Maguire is there, there's some level of solidarity as well as some level of solidarity, right? So what I'm saying, he's a very important player, and it clearly shows the importance and the significance he has to the team. Now, what I'm saying, guys, is that the team selection, that I was speaking about earlier, just a moment ago, it is a very important thing to consider in today's game, especially that today is a final game, and let us not underestimate Villarreal, because their defense is one of the best defenses in the La Liga. They have a very talented left back. They have a very, coveted centre back in Paul Torres, and they have a veteran defender who is his partner in defense. Albiol, I believe, is the name, and he has played for Real Madrid in previous years. So let us not take them lightly. They are a solid defensive team in the La Liga, and it shows as well that defensive record that they have reflects also in the Europa League, because they have not really conceded a lot of goals in the Europa League, right? So we also have to consider all these things, and they have a very good enough midfield. I'm not really familiar with their midfield per se, but they have good wingers as well, and a striker that tends to score goals every now and then. So they have the artillery, they have the arsenal in order to hit United where it hurts most. And a lot of people don't really understand that, and everybody's ruling them out. But there must be a reason why they are in the finals. And let us remember, they have beaten Arsenal. Yes, Arsenal is not on top in the Premier League this season, or in the competitive position in the Premier League at the moment. But guys, we need to also remember, Arsenal, they had beaten United, and we have drawn with them in the Premier League. So it's not like Arsenal, we swept through them during the course of the league. They should be respected, although their placement in the Premier League is not a very good one. So basically what I'm saying, and also they faced other opponents which are quality opponents as well. That is Villarreal. So let us not take them lightly, because especially if Ole decides to play, McTominay and Fred in that midfield pivot, there's a lot of worry for me, and I should imagine there's a lot of worry for you guys as well. Why? Because McTominay and Fred, they are put in this midfield in order to, withstand all of the pressure that a team may be imposing on our defense, or imposing on the team on a whole. So they're there as a safeguard. They are there in order to, sort of soak up, or like a sponge. They are there to soak all of that pressure. That is what they're there for. And for me, yes, that is something Ole is considering very important, but it takes away from our creative aspect. So putting McTominay and Fred in that midfield is a very, very, important thing to consider, because, as I said, Villarreal has a very solid defensive line, And in order for us to break them down, we need creative midfielders. We need Paul Pogba's playing in that deep playing pivot position, or a Donny van de Beek. Yes, we also need a Matic, because we can speak about how Matic played on Sunday. Him and Van de Beek were two dominant midfielders in that midfield pivot on Sunday. So we have to think about all of these things. I'm very much doubtful that Ole will play Van de Beek and Matic in that pivot. But I think it should be Pogba or a Fred, Pogba or a Matic. Something along those lines should be playing today in that finals, because in order for us to win, we need Greenwood, Cavani, and Rashford to be on the pitch all at once in order to cause problems for that defense. And we need someone who can play that holding CDM role with the likes of a Pogba or a Van de Beek, who can put passes behind the defense line, make plays that can break down the VillaReal defense. We need something like that today. We need to stray away from McTominay and Fred today. It's a one-off game. I rather Manchester United to play a good quality brand of football and lose the game, rather than playing safe with McTominay and Fred and losing by a 1-0 deficit. No, we need to go and attack this team. We need to go and play like we are in charge. We need to play like we want the trophy more. So, for me, my ideal starting lineup will be De Gea in goal. Yes, persons are arguing that Dean Henderson should be starting, but De Gea is the very reason why we're in this final, guys. And he has the experience. Yes, we know that he had a blunder of a season last season, but he has managed to, pick up himself, brush off all the dust that he collected last season, and to put in a good quality performance this season. I only held him accountable for 1 goal all season, and it's in this Everton game. Otherwise from that, he has not done much wrong. He hasn't set a foot wrong. So we can't forget everything that David De Gea has done for us in the past, and he hasn't done anything wrong this season more than so. So let us be confident in De Gea. He's our best shot stopper, our best reflexive goalkeeper. So give him his props, guys. I think he should be starting today. Next, due to the fact that Harry Maguire is injured, I would start Tuanzebe based on his current form, in recent games. If you watch the Leicester game and the Wolves game, he has showed his class and that he is a better left-sided centre-back than both Lindelof and Eric Bailly. So I believe the ideal partnership today should be Tuanzebe and Lindelof. Now, we know that Eric Bailly may not play today, or Ole may not want to choose him today, because he favors Lindelof and somebody else right now because Maguire is out. But my ideal starting back four, of course, Luke Shaw has been a colossal defender all season. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, who is undoubtedly our best right back this season. And then, of course, Tuanzebe and Lindelof. In the midfield pivot, I would play either Matic and Pogba, which I don't think it would happen today. After which, Bruno at the point man, left wing, Marcus Rashford, right wing, Mason Greenwood, and of course, the man who picks himself game in, game out, Edison Cavani. Give it to Edison Cavani. So yes, that is my ideal starting lineup. And if we need more creativity off the bench, we can bring on the likes of Van de Beek, if Ole is confident enough in that player. We can also play Amad Diallo off the bench. And of course, you will have the likes of Fred, if we need Fred, and so forth. Juan Mata as well. Players are there who can come on and keep that momentum. Dan James if we need some pace. So, start our strongest team as possible. Get the game in the bag as early as possible. And go for it. That's what I think Manchester United should be doing now. Now, as I said, now that I've spoken about the possible team sheet, we need to now speak about what today's result can possibly mean moving forward. I said it earlier, it can either be Ole's demise or it can be the beginning of something great at Manchester United. You know, when players have the... There's two things that can happen when players win a trophy. They can either settle for that victory, settle with that silverware, or it can get them more intrigued to win more silverware, get them hungrier to win bigger trophies. Because yes, Europa League is a prestige trophy in Europe, but it's not the most prestigious trophy in Europe. We have to remember, guys, that the Champions League is up for grabs next season. You know, it's a brand new season. We need to try and go for that. And just to show that Manchester United was one of the teams who would have been able to win that trophy, look at which two teams are in the finals. Yes, Manchester City is a better team than us. They have won the Premier League. But Chelsea, we have had a better record than Chelsea in the Premier League. So it just goes to show that Manchester United could have been the team in that final. And we have beaten Manchester City more than once this season. So it just goes to show that if we were in that position, it could be a 50-50 battle between us and Man City. So it just goes to show that today's result is